the broken kalim.
Okay. These are the Malachim Shemesu.
Right.
Okay. So we're starting number Yud Aleph.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
V'yevav hu ha-chesed. So Yevav is the midah of chesed. V'zehu ben zerach, which is the meaning of ben zerach. Kihu b'chinas chesed ha-nikra or kineda. Chesed is considered light. It's called light. And zerach means like shine. So I guess that similarity indicates that Yevav is chesed. V'chusham hu ha-gvura. Chusham is gvura kihusei chamesh gvurais. V'ayis chusham heim chamesh. Interesting. V'sefer Teves chusham eretz hatemani hu mitz mem yud tzadi. V'rashi Teves chema, and the Rashi Teves of it are ches mem hey. Okay. V'hu soid hapasuk ki mitz cholav yotzei chema. Mitz cholav, I'm guessing, means like a juice of cholav or a liquid of the cholav. Produces butter. Ki matzanu kosov chasar aleph chema or chema. Sometimes chema is with the milk. Chema is missing an aleph. Amar Rav Meir kachu be'iyoi. The same thing we have in the word in iyoi. Berachaytz halichi bechema or bechema. V'heim bechinas hei gvurish heim dam v'nepachim bevetan hamaleo l'chalav. It changes over in a stomach that's full into milk, meaning like if someone's pregnant, the woman's pregnant.
Right.
And from that mitz, that juice, can be produced butter, which could feed a child. Okay, light print. Hasir Ashniya, the second sphere, mitech sheva siris atachtanias, shenishbru, of the 7 lower spheres that broke, siris achesed. Hu ha-melech hasheni ha-nikra Yevav ben Zerach. This is the second king, whose name is Yevav ben Zerach. V'haremez b'shmayhu. The hint in his name is Kizerach u'milashon zurichas ha'ar. It's from a word that means the shine of light. V'ha'ar hu b'chinas ha'chesed, and ar, light, is an aspect of chesed. Sphere ha'shlishis hi ha'gvura, the third sphere is gvura, ha'remuza b'melech ha'shlishi, that's hinted at in the third king. Hanikra Chusham eretz haTemani, his name was Chusham from the land of Temani. V'haremez b'shmai, and the way his name hints to the gvura is Sharei b'midas ha'gvura yeshon chamesh gvuras. Within the midah of gvura, there's 5 aspects of gvura, or 5 types of gvura. K'meshes bar l'kaman, like we'll talk about. V'chamesh gvuras elu remuzas b'melech hanikra Chusham. The 5 gvuras are hinted at in the king whose name is Chusham. Shehu Eretz Chamesh, which has the same letters as 5, the word 5. V'hinei Rashi Teves Chusham me'eretz haTemani. The first letter of each of the words of Chusham me'eretz haTemani is chema. Shehu milashon chema, which is a milashon of butter. V'teves chema chasera eis aleph k'meshem matzinu b'iyah v'rchaytz halichi b'chema. Sometimes the word butter, chema, is missing an aleph, so it could be read with ches mem hey, like we're reading it here. The Sefer Teves, and the last word is Chusham. Chusham eretz haTemani, who mitz is the letters mitz. And Meshanemar ki mitz cholav yetzi chema, like the juice of milk that brings butter, or produces butter. V'inyan hu, and the idea of these words is the hine hahei gvurais heim chamisha mine damim. The 5 gvurais are 5 types of blood. The kashanim tokim hachamesh gvurais nasim hem cholav. When the 5 gvurais are sweetened, they're not so bitter, then they turn into milk. Besides, Mashamar Chazal, or within Chazal, like what Chazal tells us, Dam Nekar Vinasa Folav, that in a woman the blood sours and turns into milk. And from the milk you make butter, Shemachilim Balasatinig, which you could feed a child. The Fikach Tevas Chusham Eretz haTemani and Rashi Teves Chema. The Sefer Teves Mitz, V'hinei Hasir Ravias Shi Teferes. He connected HaMelech HaRavi, HaNikra Hadad ben Bedad. L'niskar kan remez al shem zeh, ach b'seif perak ches, t'shar nekudim yispar ma'anyonai. Well, here we haven't yet spoken about the remez of the word Hadad, and the Rav is not going to talk about that over here, but he's going to be spoken about at the end of perak ches of Shar Nekudim. Okay, interesting. Further?
Yeah.
Okay, your base. V'samlo mimasreko hu netzach v'hoid trei pagi gufo. We said that netzach and hoid are considered one kli. They're two halves of the guf. And the name of that king that's hinted at in that, his name is Samlo mimasreko. The Shomer Chavais, that's Ayin Ches, I'm guessing that's from the Eitz Chaim.
Yeah, okay.
The Shomer Chavais Hanar, who HaYisaid. Shol from Chavais Hanar is the Yisaid. Beside Masha Daticha, that which we are going to speak about later, Lekaman B'Shar Partzufei Zun, Paragimel, Kihio Atara Shal Yisaid. That's the Atara of the Yisaid, Shal Yisaid Habina, HaMisracheves V'Nikras Rechaves Hanar, which is widened and called the paths of the river, or the widths of the river. Rashi Teves Shal Merchaves Hanar Hu Moshe. Kisaid HaYisaid Shal Abba Kihu Said HaYisaid Shal Abba Kanada. Because Moshe Rabbeinu was the secret of the foundation of Abba, as is known.
It means Yesod, the sphere of Yesod.
Meaning the secret of the sphere of Yisaid of Abba.
Right. Abba's Yesod. Let's see if that's right.
Okay. Hastura Chamisha Shanishbra, the fifth sphere that broke, he Kollel Shtei spheres. We said that contains two spheres, Shein Netzach V'Hoid, Yachtov. Kibbut Shehem Keneged Train Raglan, because that's like the 2 feet. The Eshel is Zeh, and it's impossible with one without the other. V'hu HaMelech HaChamishi HaNikra Samlo Mimasreko. That's the fifth king that's called Samlo Mimasreko. Basfira Shishis, the sixth sphere that broke, Shanishbra, he spheres HaYisaid, is the sphere of Yisaid, who HaMelech HaShishi HaNikra Shol Merchaves Hanar. Vatam Shazeh HaMelech Ramos B'Yisaid Daiko. The reason why this king is hinted at in the sphere of Yisaid, who Mishum Yisaid the Ima, Shu Yisaid Nuk, Nikras Rechaves Hanar, Al Shem Shemidas, Yisaid Shel Habina Misracheves Mispashetes. The Yisaid of Ima is called Yisaid of Nuk, which is Yisaid of Nuk. It's called Rechaves Hanar because Rechaves Hanar is like the width of the river, and that indicates a broadening or a widening of Bina.
Still there? Whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What was your question? What was your, yeah. So first of all, the Rechaves Hanar, let me just see one thing. Siddur Rechaves Hanar is the name of the Rashash Siddur.
Right.
Okay, so let me go back. Where was it? Rechaves Hanar, Mora Al Yesod. So what is it, the broad space? What happens in the river? This is the place where the water comes out. That place would be Yesod. Who Mishum Sharoshi Teves, so then he gives you Roshi Teves. And who Moshe. So what's the idea of Moshe in the river? Moshe was put in the river. Moshe crossed the sea. What are we dealing with Moshe? I don't think he's following up on that so much. Can you do Shemoshe? Okay, so he says why? Shemoshe, who what is the Yesod of Abba. Now you're going to learn later on that the Yesod of Abba is inside of the Yesod of Ima. They always travel together. But Ima's on the outside. Abba's on the inside. And they're going to go, in other words, that's the place where the Panemius of Abba comes in to mate with the Panemius of Ima. Mm-hmm. So this is like the place where the ball the ball starts rolling. So he said, Biarno the El Shemoshe who das the Abba Shebazah. So Yesod, so this little fact, so the Yesod has the ability, let me say das, let's say it, Taras Yesod. Okay, the Yesod of Abba Ve'ima is inside of das. And that splits into two parts, Chasadim and Gevuros, which we've been talking about this a little bit. And so the das the Abba will wind up going inside of Zer Anpin in the form of the 5 Chasadim. Anyway, that's the pattern. We'll see it later on. We'll see more about that.
So just a question. Yeah. Moshe is the Yesod of Abba or the Das of Abba?
So the Yesod of Abba is inside of Das. Das quote by the Gaon, I just like to say this, is that the middle line always splits, and Das is in the middle. So Das splits into two parts, a right part and a left part. The
Right.
right part is Chasadim, and the left part is the five Gevuros. Ultimately, the five Gevuros are going to be transferred into the Nukta Zeranpin and the Malchus and Bills Malchus. And the five Chasadim are for Zeranpin. So now, did I get close to answering the question? I'm getting
I
off.
guess that's extra. No, I think
So,
that's
so the
helpful.
thing is, let's say like this. So the Yesod of Abba has an extension. It's called the Atarasa Yesod. But at any rate, the Atarasa Yesod of Abba and Ima, because Abba's inside of Ima, goes inside of Zeranpin. That is at his chest. It extends. It's normally at the neck. Das is more or less the neck, but it has an extension which goes down to the chest. And there's a lot of play that goes along with the chest, because in the chest downwards, we consider this as a certain area. It's called the Zat, the Zain Tachtonos, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's different kinds of things, different kinds of ways to describe it. Anyway,
Okay.
the Yesod of Abba is inside of the Das as their Anpin.
Got it. So that's why he's referring to Moshe as the Yesod of Abba and as the Das of Abba.
Right. It goes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It goes in. It's placed inside of that Das of Zeranpin.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Where should we pick up from?
Olefichach, or wherever you want.
I'm just gonna. Can I start from the tam? The first one on the run is umispashetas. The word after umispashetas.
Mispashetas. So that's where we're at. Okay.
The tam noisav sheshol mercheves hanor meira al yisaid hu mishum shurash teves shol mercheves hanor hu Moshe ki yadua shemoshe hu biyisaid da'avo hu biyarnu el shemoshe hu das da'avo shebezah. Ukvar noida shebeshah she'apartz of ha'olyin mamshech moichin dechabad el hatachton himenu, when an upper parts of extends its moichin to a lower one, azayim mislabshim b'nahai shel ha'olyin. So then they become clothed in the netzach ha'yisod of the upper parts of.
Right.
Netzach ha'olyin nasa chochma l'tachton. So the netzach becomes the chochma of the lower parts of. V'hoid the elyon nasa bina l'tachton.
Yes.
V'hoid the yisod elyon nasa das l'tachton. V'kivan shemoshe hu das da'abo shebezah hainu shehu yisod da'abo u'mulubash teich yisod d'imo ha'misalbeshes b'das d'zah. Lefikach hu nikra sfiras ha'yisod. Okay, interesting. So Recheves Hanor, first he's saying is really has to do with the it connects both
Okay, I actually said this, so it goes like this: is that the mochin that are going to go into the za and going to build za up? That's what you want to do. That's what we're actually trying to do in all of our prayers, is to bring the potential into Zer Anpin and also prepare the nukva so that she can mate with Zer Anpin. This is what produces bracha. So Abba is inside of Ima. He just said that. So like they travel together. But we always really mostly speak of Ima. But he wants to talk specifically about Moshe Rabbeinu. So Moshe Rabbeinu, I guess he's saying is, I mean, I'm listening to what he said. He's saying that Moshe Rabbeinu, his origin is in the Yesod of Abba. And that Yesod of Abba extends into the Das of Zeranpin. And so therefore that's how they go. So then from Zer Anpin, if the light of God could come into Zer Anpin in that place, then he has a possibility that if we're straightened out enough, that to be able to deliver they call it the drop, the tipa into the nukva. It's a whole complicated, very beautiful, process.
So when he says at the end that there's two reasons why we call the Melech of Shol Mercheves Hanar, why that's Merumas to Yesod, he's saying there's two reasons for that. What would you say are the two reasons?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't paying that good of attention, but it was the two reasons because he's
the first thing he seems to be saying is that the
Yesod of Abba.
It's connected to Bina.
The Yesod of Abba is inside of Ima.
So but how does that translate into Bina?
Well, Bina is Ima. So we have different ways. We haven't really discussed Abba Ve'ima, but the Zohar, if we get through Sharatik, then we'll be able to see a lot of other things that are going to develop. But here he's talking theoretically because we haven't got to that, and actually the Rav has not talked about that exactly.
Okay.
But if he says it, and he says that it's this is something to think about. It's a good question. He says that the Yesod of Abba means the final delivery point of this tipa into the Yesod of Ima. Okay, they're traveling together. So they're traveling together. And they're going into Zer Anpin, and there's an extension of that Yesod, because in the middle line is where this now is starting to, the Yesod is in the middle line. It's going to go down the middle line into the Das of Zer Anpin, and from there it's going to flower. So we see in other places there, Anpin is the place of the manifestation of the light. Before that, the light was too imperceptible, or we can't see it. We talk about it, but the same thing. It's just light. It's just in Zer Anpin, it becomes a prism with all the different colors in it, and you see everything comes out of there, and it builds up the whole. That's how you build up the world. That's how the world is built up.
Okay.
How far did we get? Did we?
We got to Yud Gimel.
Okay. Well, you really covered a lot of ground. You want to do a little bit more, or how are we holding here?
No, yeah, we could do another one.
Okay.
You want to do another one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's see Yud Gimel. So it sounds like he's saying that there's the reason why. I'm just to summarize that. He's saying that Shol Mercheves Hanar is referring to the Yesod is, first of all, because it's called Recheves Hanar because that has to do with Bina, and it's the Yesod of that goes into Bina. And second of all, because the Rosh Teves is Moshe, which is the Yesod of Abba that is in the Das of Zah.
Right.
Okay.
Now the thing about the Yesod of Abba is different than the Yesod of Ima. So just talking. So if you Ima stops, her Yesod is short, just like the Yesod of a woman. They say like that. Yesod is short, so therefore it ends at the Chazir. But the Yesod of Abba is long; it's vertical, and so therefore it goes all the way into the Yesod of Zer Anpin. So we'll see that later on. It's like some thoughts later on.
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
Yud Gimel.
Yeah.
V'shol HaMelech haya mi bechina zeh. Shol HaMelech was this bechina of Yesod. The pasuk says, "V'zeh shamar b'shol." It says by Shol HaMelech, "V'hinehu nechave el hakelim." He was hidden or hiding among the kelim. Pirush kikasher nishbru hakelim shel be'ela hamalachim. When the kings of the Elah HaMalachim died, Commission of Arabas Hashem, like we'll talk about, or they broke, I should say. All the lights left them. The Nishru Monin Tvirin, and they were left behind broken vessels. The only thing that was left behind was the 288 sparks. We'll talk about. Ben Achbar Malchus. Okay, it's just like in parentheses. I don't know what the next line things stand for.
Let's say Balchanan ben Akvar hu Malchus. That's in the Mavusharim Shar base, Chelik base, Perichas.
Got it. Okay.
Just one second. The Mavusharim is one of the sections of the Chaim, this is one of the sections we're learning here too. This is Chaim we're learning, but it's in Ludurat Inyana. So the I forgot. I'm forgetting names right. But the Mabul Sharm is the last one. It's the Medur Basra.
Got
It
it.
has lots of good stuff in it, but
Is it similar to the Artsurot Chaim?
it's a completely different thing. I always think of like the world from the Kabbalistic point of view is like a kaleidoscope. It's working very slowly. But once you're no longer in that particular color thing combination, you're in something else.
Got
It's
it.
something else. Of
Right.
course, all the principles, the basic principles are the same. But yeah, it's something to learn. But that's in the Eitz Chaim. So
Okay. One day.
yeah, Alavai. I should be there with you. I should be there with you. That's the main thing.
Amen. Amen.
How old are you?
30.
Yeah, well, so I'm 50 years apart. You're the same age as Harley. He's also 30.
Harley? Who's Harley? Oh,
Harley,
Harley. Yeah.
the guy I call him Harley. His name is Davidson. That's his last name.
Oh, that's funny.
He's got an unusual name.
Yeah.
Anyway, I call him Harley.
Right.
Okay, are you on the light print now, or is that where we're at? Or
No, I'm just finishing up the dark print after the Mevosh Arim, after that little parentheses brackets from the Mevosh Arim.
Okay.
In the Kli of Yisaid, there was a light that was remained behind, aside from the 288 Nitzitzin. And the reason why there was a light left behind was to give sustenance to the Kli of Malchus, which doesn't have its own light at all. Okay, so I'm in the light print of Yud Gimel. Biarnu. Shemosha hu Yisai da Abba Mislabesh Tech Das Tazah. Okay, and you explained that well. Behine al Hamelach Shol Mercheves Hanor. With regard to the king of Shol Mercheves Hanor, Nirmaz v'Pasuk Behine hu Nechave al Hakelim. Pasuk says it was hidden among the Kalim. Shazet Nemar al Shol Hamelach. That's considered Shol. That's talking about Shol Hamelach, like the Jewish king Shol, not the kings of Esav. But and the idea what it's referring to is Shabashoshan Estalko Eres Mitech HaKelim. When the Eres left the Kelim, Nasu HaKelim Mon and Tfirin, the Hainu Kelim Shurin. They became broken and they were broken Kelim. Kedugmas HaNeshama Sheyotze Min HaGuf She'oz HaGuf Meis. Like when the Neshama leaves the body dies. Nishar Bekelim Ki Im Bechinas Mu'etas, Bechina Mu'etas Sho'ar, HaNikras Rapach Nitzetzen. And what was left behind was just a slight amount of light called the Rapach Nitzetzim, Shehem Rishimu, which is a glow or a remnant of Min Ha'or Shahaya Kaidim L'chein B'Seich HaKelim, of the light that was before them inside the Kelim. Yidei Rapach Nitzetzin Elu, and through these 288 sparks, Nishar Ma'at Chios B'Seich HaKelim, there was like something left behind, a little bit of Chios, a little bit of life inside the Kelim, the broken Kelim. They didn't mamish die completely. And if there wouldn't be anything left there, it wouldn't be possible to fix them. It's like the heat or some kind of something that remains in the bones of a person after they die.
It's a hevel. It's a hevel.
Oh, a hevel. Okay.
It's some kind of substance of air or
moisture, maybe. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Even though the neshama leaves the body, a little bit of like hevel stays behind in the bones. And from that, that's how Tchias HaMesim is going to happen. On top of the ideas of Rabbach Nitzitzin, there was also an additional light other than the Rabbach that was in the Kli HaYisayit. That little bit of light that remained behind was to give Chias to the Malchus, which is not included in the Rabbach Nitzitzin. Sherehi Atma less la mi garma shum or prati, because the Malchus does not have any of its own light. As Kol Era, he mekabelas man Yisayit, it really receives all its light from the Yisayit. Ulefika chutzrach Therefore, there had to be some additional light. Rapach is not enough to give the Malchus Chios, so you have to be some additional light that remain behind that gives the Rapach Chios. So Pirish Nechve Al Kelim Halon, and we will explain in a minute what the idea of hiding among the Kelim is.
Okay, you got time for one more to finish it out?
Oh yeah, what time is it?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the end of the parak.
Yeah, we'll finish it. We'll finish the parak. Okay, Yudalad. V'zeh hanishar sham, this light that remains behind there, hu b'chinas shol hanechva sham b'klei hayisaid, is like shol that remained in the kli of yisaid. Mashalei nishar kain b'kli acher, which is not found by any other kli. L'fi shehoyav be'ez hashira v'hamisa, because at the time of the breaking of the kelim, nikra lashon mischavei, it's called a lashon of hiding or being hidden. It really should have been forced to leave as well. But it left there in secret, like in hiding. And the reason why was for the Malchus. That's why Shaul was zeicha to the Malchus. And because Shaul, his goal was to bring light into the Malchus. I guess what was eventually going to become the Malchus of David. He wanted to begin that. So he was zeicha to that. Okay, light print. The light that was left in the Kli of Yisrael is an aspect of Shalom Melech, Shu Melech Yisrael. It wasn't one of the kings of Edom. At the time of the breaking of the Kli, all the light of the Kelim should have broke. But it didn't really happen. All the light should have left the broken Kelim, but it wasn't so. In the Kli of Yisrael, a little bit of light was left for Malchus. It gets remained behind or trapped. I don't know exactly what the right word is.
Hidden.
Translate nechve.
Hidden.
Okay. Because Shaul was that light that was left behind in the Kli of Yisrael l'hayar l'malchus, to bring the malchus out. Lefiko zacha Shaul l'melucha. Hilchera haisa hamalchus ru'uya mitchila l'David HaMelech. Really, David HaMelech should have been the first king. Ach mikivan shekol kavanot hi l'hayar l'malchus v'chdei livneis es hakli shalah, because Shaul HaMelech's goal was to build the Kli of Malchus to bring light into it. Therefore, he got the first dips at Malchus. The seventh sphere, Shenishbara, he spheres Malchus, Shehi, Meramezes Petera, B'melech Hashvi, Shenishbara, Shu HaMelech HaNekra Balchanon ben Achbar, which we brought down over here from the Mevoi Sharim, but we didn't really explain that much.
That's right. We're going to get to that. That's going to be probably in Shara Barudim or here too. Okay, that was great.
Okay.
Thanks so much for learning with me today.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for your time.